Hi there, we're going to do a little tutorial quickly on how to slot your atomizers to work with bottom feeders. I've got two here. The one is the Igo-F, which is widely available on the internet for a few dollars, and the other one is an A6. This is available as a single coil with one air hole or as a dual coil with two air holes, so depending which one you want, buy that one. They're both simple to do. We'll quickly cover this one. The lid just pulls off and you'll see we have a 3-post design here. I've already modified this one, so I'm going to show you what I did to it. The center pin has a slot in it, more like a groove or a channel really. It's simple on this one. All you do is push the center pin out. You may need a plier or keep your favorite screwdrivers handy, and a spare mod so you can screw things on and yank things off is handy. So on this one I push the center pin out. I'll remove the screw at the top first. The screw's a bit wider, so that's going to stop the center pin from pushing out. Okay, so we've taken out the center screw and we'll push the pin out. And there we go. Alright, so with bottom feeding we really want the liquid to come up through there and land up at the bottom of our chamber. So here's my center pin. Let's see if we can get some focus for you guys. Focus, damn camera. Oopsie. Tripod having a bad day. Let's go there again. Right, so there's our pin. That's hopefully going to get into focus shortly. There we go. Right, so looking at the pin sort of from the bottom, and you'll notice that it's like got a Pac-Man shape to it. We've taken a Dremel cut-off disc. Now what I did was I held the pin in a vise, fitted this to a Dremel and just made a channel. The channel doesn't extend the full length of the pin. In this particular A6 it doesn't really matter how high the channel is, because the minute the channel is exposed to the deck, that's where the liquid's going to come out. So that's all that's needed there. Quite simple. And squeeze it back in and we'll refit the little screw. There we go. Okay, let me turn that so you can see where the channel is. Okay, put it there in the light. What I may do is take a close-up photo of that so you can see exactly what we're talking about. Anyway, let's put it onto a squonking thing and we'll see how it squonks. Again, damn it. Alright. So the liquid comes up the little channel, the slot that I've made, and gets sucked back every time. Simple. Okay, that's the A6. Let's have a look at what we do to the Igo-F. It's a slightly different atty. So this one might not be the prettiest thing. The whole drip tip and top cap is one piece, and in here by design there's a liquid chamber of around 1 milliliter. I wish I could tell you that it's worked perfectly since day one, but the whole design as it came out the factory is a bit of a weird one, because there's two holes over here, and one was meant to kind of be like a U-wick type system. You put your wick down there and you put your wick down there, and then they both sort of dip into this liquid chamber. It's rubbish. It never worked. I don't know anybody that could get this thing to work right, but it's to our advantage. This bottom chamber section unscrews, and in there you will see that there is a pin. Now I've already modded this one again. Let's put it there where we can get some focus, hopefully. Oh god. Anyway, we can push this pin up and out. You can see the insulator came with. So let's take the insulator off. Now with this pin, the slot goes the full length all the way through. Yeah. So if we pop the insulator back on, and we can show you how it works now. We'll put the insulator back in. We'll put the pin back in, which is a lot easier than what I said, but anyway, there we go, it's back in enough. No, let's do that again. Insulator first, then pin. All of these kind of work the same. You can either drill a hole through the middle or slot the center pin. And for me, slotting the center pin it's just starting to become a bit of a habit. Alright, there we go. We've put the insulator in first. So from the bottom of the mod, the liquid's going to enter that small little groove that I've cut. It's going to come up into this chamber. So it's going to auto-fill this chamber. And once this chamber is full, which is kind of after your first squonk, anything you do further is going to squeeze up through these two holes. And let's put that on. I won't do a hard squonk because I don't want this to go absolutely everywhere. Now we squonk. We'll squonk again. What I've actually got here is obviously there's about a milliliter in this section already, and the excess is coming up and then going back down. Now you would maybe put your wick through one of those holes, but it's not really necessary. If your wick just lies on the surface, treat it as a normal drip, and you're good to go. And that's pretty much all there is to it. The connection on your box here, some people get a bit touchy about that. Yes, potentially exists for this to get a little bit sweaty from liquid that does manage to get out. Now, these O-rings that come with drip tips, it's just quite simple to get a spare one and fit it over the 510. Obviously now your whole atomizer is raised once it screws down, but if you have an adjustable center pin, or most of our boxes have got adjustable pins there, you can turn it out. This might leave you with a bit of gap, but I'd rather have a gap than a leak. They don't often leak, but let's just say that if you do have an O-ring, it's not going to go anywhere in any case. What it also allows you to do is actually position the atomizer, because your air holes need to be opposite the coils, and with a lot of these drippers they can kind of spit out the air holes a bit. So when you're squonking and pushing your button, you might get spitting onto your finger and it's quite hot. So if you have an O-ring, you can adjust your atomizer position so the air holes actually sit away from you or that way, or if you only have a single one, you want it going away from you that way. That's it. Thank you.